pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Chrissy.
All right, Wyatt.
Here.
Engel. Here. Reister.
Here.
Buns.
Present.
Stabell.
Here.
Have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda, anything to remove? If not, I'll take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Mayor's comments, welcome everybody, a full house, almost, relative to normal. Citizens request, nothing. Committee reports, Gail, Personnel, Admin, Finance Committee, April 22nd.
Call the meeting to order at 4:45. First item on the agenda was health insurance for renewal on June 1st. And I'm going to go ahead, because Gary's here tonight, so we'll just wait. But we did recommend to council then that the city stay with the Walmart Blue Cross Blue Shield and approve the silver plan. That was recommended. Next thing we talked about was the 2019 wage increases, that there has been a 3% increase into the budget for 2019-2010. And so there were a couple of no increases for some employees because they recently had gotten an increase because they did a job change or they were just recently hired. So it was recommended then by the committee to go ahead and approve those wage increases. And I don't think they're on.
No, they'll come to council next meeting because we want the library to set there so we can have them all ready to go.
Okay. Last thing was the payment service networks. Chrissy had met an individual at a conference, and this would be the ability then for our citizens to be able to pay online rather than to having to come down and submit a check and stuff. And so we just wondered what it would cost for all of this, and we asked that or maybe check into some other programs besides just going with this one. And so this will it's going to be on the next council
It'll be on the
agenda.
No, it'll be on the next personnel.
agenda. Right. Oh, the committees.
Yeah.
Okay.
More discussion?
Okay.
Yeah.
So then the meeting then was adjourned at 5:03.
Thanks, Gail. Any questions for Gail? Public hearing. I'll now open the public hearing regarding the approval of the request of Stephen and Joanna Hawk to approve Hawk Minor Plat Number 1. Chrissy, any written comments? Any oral comments? We'll close the public hearing. General government, Hudson City Council maintains the right to waive the first and second readings of the ordinances presented and may pass the third and final reading of the same ordinances within the same council meeting. Item A, discussion action to approve resolution 2478, a resolution for approval to offer a position of volunteer fire to Carson Wright. Chad, anything you'd like to comment?
Ambitious young man so far. He's got some medical background going right now and willing to learn. So,
Okay.
32 on our roster and our cap is 40. So.
Okay, just got him. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Further discussion? Roll call.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Stabell.
Aye.
Engel.
Aye.
Reister. Buns.
Aye.
5-0. Welcome.
Welcome, Carson.
And thank you.
Welcome, Carson. Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Item B, discussion action to approve the third reading of ordinance 815, an ordinance amending section 166.02 of the zoning ordinances of the city of Hudson, Iowa as amended by removing certain real estate from the A1 suburban agricultural district, including the same in the R6 single-family residential district. And this is the buyer section.
So moved.
Second. Discussion?
This is third reading? Sorry,
Yeah.
Third reading.
Sorry, couldn't read that.
Roll call.
Engel.
Aye.
Reister. Buns.
Aye.
Stabell.
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
5-0. Item C, Discussion action to approve the second reading of ordinance 816, an ordinance authorizing tax exemption under the urban revitalization plan for industrial use in accordance with Hudson Code of Ordinances, section 807. And this is the McWing property that we passed first reading last time and ready for second reading.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
Can you just briefly remind us?
Yeah, this is an ability for new commercial operations after construction to have a decreasing exemption for property taxes, city portion only, 75%, then 50, 25, 10 or something.
Yeah.
And McWings applied for it at the county. So we do have in our ordinance the ability to do that. So what we're doing is acknowledging that and going ahead. This is a property that has no TIF rebates on it, so this is the only city subsidization we're giving on it.
Yeah, and the only caveat with it is that it has to conform to city zoning, which it does, it's zoned properly, so there would be no like
We had
rezoning
a
or
discussion
anything.
about this last time, right? And it was about county jurisdiction
Yeah.
versus city jurisdiction? Is that, yeah.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Engel,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Bunce,
Aye.
Stabell,
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
5-0.
I don't think I seconded
Oh,
that.
no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Start over, sorry. Wyatt,
Aye.
Bunce,
Aye.
Stabell,
Aye.
Engel,
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
I was like, well, whatever.
No, sorry.
I'm
still saying aye no matter what order she
Minutes
goes.
and that's- It's like I got my tally going over here and.
Yeah, I call for the vote a little too quick sometimes too.
No, that's okay, I just was looking at the wrong one.
Item D, discussion action to approve resolution 2479, a resolution to approve the request of Stephen and Joanna Hawk to approve Hawk minor plat number 1. That's basically splitting about 3 acres into a pair of 1.5 so they can sell one off and make it an R6.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Engel,
Aye.
Stabell,
Aye.
Bunce,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
5-0. Item E, discussion action to approve resolution 2480, resolution for approval of insurance renewal for the city of Hudson, Iowa. And we'll let Gary speak to the highlights, I presume. Gail Best.
Thank you. As always, every year, I want to be sure I say thank you to the city of Hudson for the opportunity to provide the health insurance and be your agent. We've got a great group of employees here that's enjoyed working with them through the time we've spent here. The synopsis of what's happening, Wellmark has changed the plan design on the silver plan that we had as their underlying chassis on our benefits. It raised the deductible and it raised the out-of-pocket limits. Employees won't see any of that change because we've been self-funding down to a richer plan or a plan that's designed to meet the needs of the employees here. That strategy that we've been using, having a higher deductible than self-funding down, has been successful, and again, this year we demonstrated it once more. We took $37,000 of premium savings and used that to pay for claims for which we were responsible, and ended up with a net savings of over almost $12,000. By using that higher deductible plan, the premiums that we share with the employees then also are a more modest premium, more affordable premium. And that underlying premium is going to go up an average of 5.3% this next year. Third-party administrator that we use that handles those claims gets a copy of the claims that after the employee has experienced those services. So that's all seamless. The employee doesn't have to be a part of that claims process. We did look at another carrier. We looked at United Healthcare and priced that out, and they were a bit lower. But they wouldn't be able to offer that service of being able to offer providing those claims, that claims information to the third-party administrator. So not only would it be a disruption with changing companies, but it would also add additional responsibility on employees for the process that we've been going through. So my recommendation was to stay with Wellmark. It's been working very well, and I think it's going to work just as well this next year.
And we are passing that 5% increase on to the employees though,
Yes,
too.
they
So
get
we're
the
not
same.
taking that on, the employees are gonna be paying that
little bit
increase,
more.
but everything else basically remains the same.
When you say basically,
Because the deductible changed, the copay changed, but that's the part they don't see because of the self-funding
Got it.
portion of it.
Yeah, and it's based on your age, so employees know that they're a year older, so they're gonna pay more
Yeah.
anyway.
Yep.
So,
got
they just know that going into it, that they're gonna pay more every year because they're gonna do more.
Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any further discussion or questions for Gary and his assistant over there?
You're the assistant, is that what you want to be called?
Rob Sock is originally from the Rhinebeck area, has been in Granger for the last 4.5 years, and
Yep.
he's coming back to the Cedar Valley to be closer to family and to join Lincoln Savings Bank this last week, so
Fantastic.
he's training me.
Gotcha.
Good to be back.
Involved with volunteer fire department in Granger.
Yep.
And on city
And
council.
city council, so.
Got it.
I know what you
Ding,
guys
ding,
do,
ding.
yeah.
Did you see the light bulb just go off on Mayor Wessel there? He was like, what?
We may live in Rhinebeck again, I don't know. So,
You gonna move to Hudson?
there aren't many homes in Rhinebeck.
Gonna move to Hudson? We got
Maybe.
plenty.
Maybe.
We can build you a new one somewhere.
Really?
Somebody will.
We'll talk later.
And very affordable new apartments.
There you go.
Really?
Better full.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, further discussion? Roll call.
Bunce,
Aye.
Hinkle,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Stabell,
Aye.
Reister.
5-0. Thanks.
Thanks,
You're
guys.
welcome to
Thank
go.
you very much.
Yep, appreciate it.
Item F, discussion action to approve resolution 2481, a resolution for approval of umpire pay for the city of Hudson, Iowa for the position of baseball, softball umpires for summer 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Hinkle. Aye. Reister.
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Bunce.
Aye.
Stabell.
Aye.
5-0. Item G, discussion action to approve resolution 2482, a resolution for approval to provide a donation to Hudson Chamber of Commerce. Prior to asking for a motion to approve, I'd like to have the chamber and ourselves have a little dialogue on the whole process.
Welcome, everyone.
Well, as you can see, I don't have a lot of information. Dan Lichty, who is the Hawkeye College representative that I've been working with, was up measuring the other day, and I asked him to get the information to me by today, but I don't have it yet. So the only information I basically have is this email saying that the project cost would be about $8,900. What they're gonna do is tear out all the shrubbery, the existing plants, and leaving just the trees in the two areas. One is by the triangle, and the other one is right in front of ABC, where the Santa Claus thing is. And they would tear out all the shrubbery and put down pavers. So it's basically maintenance-free. My original purpose was to make it so that it was easy to clean up and not just a big ashtray or garbage can. And so they gave us this quote, however, I don't have the official quote. And they said that they could get it done before, like in a week and a half, assuming the weather cooperates. It wouldn't take a lot of time. The only thing that would be left is the trees, the crabapple trees.
Who's the bid from, Judy?
Hawkeye Community College.
And they're doing this partly as a fundraiser as well as having their students
Right.
experience and stuff like
Right.
that. The chamber has a beautification fund of $6,118 or so dollars.
We're about $3,000.
And they spent a lot of time looking at what they thought would be best for the downtown, and this is what they came up with. We did talk about, and Kate had brought it up last chamber meeting, about what about the possibility of Public Works doing some of the work to reduce the cost. Well, it doesn't work into what Hawkeye Tech wants to do, is because they really want it as a learning experience plus somewhat of a fundraiser. So that's why I encouraged the chamber to go ahead and request this $3,000 in order to be able to meet their whole $9,000 cost and have discussion on it.
How did,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead.
Have we figured out what our savings as a city is in the time that it takes our guys to maintain that square every spring, fall, and summer? I mean, I'm just,
There's not
No, we
much,
haven't done any
There's
full.
not, I'm sure there's not a lot.
but still, it's gonna look better. It's our downtown as well as saving them some time. And yeah, I think it's
I think
a
it's gonna
great
help with,
project. I've told you guys the whole time, I think it's a great project, and I'm glad that you could come here and have us help with part of it too, because it is a city street, it's a city thing too, so we were awesome to collaborate together to be able to get something like this done. And thank you, Judy, especially for all your work on this, because I know you've done a lot of time.
Well, and the
Researching
trees
into this.
themselves are, the shrubs are, they've lost their pizzazz.
They have.
I mean, they just, they don't they're not eye appealing anymore, except for the big trees.
Well, they're also wind catchers that catches a lot of that garbage that comes through too.
Well, I
not
think
even
it's gotta be
people's
better
building.
for snow removal.
Oh, I
too,
think so too.
that we can get down, cause there's times where we don't always get a good path on those sidewalks
Right,
and
and I
stuff.
do think it's a great learning experience for those kids in the horticulture classes at Hawkeye too, to partner with them,
Yeah,
you know, and maybe we can talk with them about, you know, I've always said that I would love to see some like spring plantings around here, or baskets or something that we can do to beautify downtown, but we'll talk about that at, next week at economic development, because I've got some ideas that I wanted to shoot out with that too, so I think it's a great start, and thank you again, really, for your hard work on this, because I know you've put a lot of time and effort into this.
Yeah, and Judy got a couple quotes, and the other couple quotes were talking about 15, 20,000.
Yeah,
It was
just
a
crazy.
lot.
yeah.
So that's why we decided to partner up with Hawkeye, so it's a win-win for both of us. We were able to lower the cost and they get,
Yeah,
training and.
yeah, I think it's fantastic, I think it's a fantastic collaboration with everyone.
What's the fundraiser for Hawkeye?
It's just to get funds into their economic, or that
Yeah.
But I mean,
department.
how will they leverage that?
They're using the labor, because what they're doing is saying, okay, here's material
Ah.
and labor cost. So it's the labor cost above the materials.
And these guys know what they're doing? I mean,
Mhm, they have an instructor
they'll
in
have
there.
Yeah.
I'm always hire our college
We'll-
kids
we'll
to
be
do my
watching.
jobs.
They'll be supervised.
Yeah.
Get a big sandbox out there only.
They'll probably get graded on the project, so they've got an extra incentive.
Well, and since school is out already there, the department head is taking the lead on the project versus one of the students who would have done it had school been still in session. A lot of the kids are relatively local. One of them works here for Jerry Williams here in town. And, they do their projects around here in the summertime. And so
Great.
they will still work with him
Mhm.
and I assume get some type of credit, but
Sure.
they will certainly get the experience.
Has anyone voiced opinion against this? But not the project, but spending $3,000?
No.
It's economic development,
There's
where is
a
it
lot of
coming?
good positive discussion at the chamber really wanting to do it. Chrissy, what fund would this come out of if approved?
It can come out of economic development, it can come out of our local option, because it'd be economic development or parks related,
Mhm.
so.
So can I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
I will second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
All right, Engel,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Reister,
Aye.
Sabell, Bunce.
Aye.
You got it, thanks.
Thank you
Thank
guys so much.
you. You too.
Now, where did I lose my agenda?
Thanks for paying your taxes.
Quickly.
Got it? Okay.
I mean,
True enough.
Okay, what am we on, H?
Good job.
Item H, discussion action to approve resolution 2483, a resolution for approval of higher setting wages and approving temporary part-time summer recreation helpers for the city of Hudson, Iowa.
So moved?
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Bunce,
Aye.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Sabell, Reister, Engel.
aye.
5-0. Item I, discussion action to approve resolution 2484, a resolution for approval of sewer maintenance service for the city of Hudson, Iowa. Before I ask for a motion, I want to give you a little highlight here. We've been operating under a 5-year fixed rate contract with Municipal Pipe Tool. And it was so much per foot, so much per hour, everything else, so there's been no increases over the 5 years. They have requested, it expired in April this year. They came through and included in the packet was their contract for future 5 years. I did a little analysis that I placed in front of each of you, but it basically, the increase from the 2014 contract to the 2019 contract is very significant on each of the line items, running anywhere from 15% to 92%.
Yeah.
What they're proposing in this new contract, besides having those higher starting rates, is they put into the contract an automatic 3% increase per year, okay? Now, had we had that in this past contract, out to the right-hand side, I did a calculation, basically on a compounding basis, would have, over 5 years, it'd be 15.9%. So in all those cases, 15.9, other than the PACP reports that was increasing 15.8, everything else is above. I've sent an email off to Municipal Pipe asking for an explanation, and what I would like is a motion to refer this back to Public Works for additional review.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Further discussion?
So when it was sent to Public Works, what was the discussion there? Like,
It didn't get to Public Works,
didn't-
it was brought straight through,
Oh,
bypassed. It
okay.
didn't- Because it's under our
Sure.
contract limits,
Okay,
it's come through, but we should have had a Public Works discussion on it.
So let's say,
We'll bring it on Wednesday.
let's say we decide not to move forward with municipal pipe, we just put out a bid for other.
Well,
vendors?
I'm not necessarily against using municipal pipe at all, because municipal pipe is local, they're very responsive.
Absolutely.
There are multiple other companies nationwide. There's some communities somewhat near us, they're using an operation out of Wisconsin that has an office in Mason City. You know, it really comes down, we need to, Public Works Committee discussion with you two on the council as well as the staff to dig into this. I think what happened was, it wasn't, when it was presented, given to us, nobody even had thought to, Chrissy and I at the last minute thought, well, we need to do little numbers on this thing, so we did that. My apologies for being delayed on that, delayed on it, but I think the best thing is give it to Public Works on Wednesday, and by that time, maybe I'll have some information on municipal pipe, or we'll have somebody come visit with us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it just needs to be discussed and
Yeah.
vetted, probably, not that,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, a local company in our backyard is huge, and we wanna support them the best we can as well, because they are a huge asset to our company, to our
But we
town.
haven't had a chance to
But we
kind
haven't
of
had a chance
discuss
to
the
look at it.
options. Do we want to go full 5 years?
Right.
Do you just go
Right.
3
Yeah,
years?
there's just a lot more to discuss.
And, yeah,
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, did I get a motion to table and seconded?
not to table, but to move it.
To
put
move it
back.
Yeah, move it back,
Move it back.
refer it back to
Committee.
Public Works.
And the only thing I'd say out of all this is hopefully we're looking at every expense that we incur with the same kind of scrutiny.
Yeah, and
I
that's
mean-
what
And we
this
usually
helps
do.
highlight.
I mean, if it's the kind of thing where you go, man,
well, I truthfully think it would have come to that anyways. I mean, had you not even said that, I think just our discussion would have had us say, this
Well,
isn't,
Yeah.
we need to look at this better, yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't need to table or anything, right?
No,
Just
send it back
deferring back.
to committee.
All in favor, say aye.
I,
Nay. Opposed? Okay, thank you. Item J, discussion action to approve resolution 2485, a resolution consenting to assignment of trustee agent agreements, escrow agent agreements, and/or paying agent and registrar and transfer agent agreements. And this has to do with all of our annual bond payments. Motion to approve?
so moved.
Second?
Second?
Discussion?
just say this in layman's terms.
What?
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay, I was just gonna
Please.
say, basically what it is the Bankers Trust, who we have all of our loans with now, are changing names. And so because they're changing names, we have to basically re-sign and sign an agreement with them saying, yes, we wanna stay with you. And not move maybe to somewhere else.
They got bought, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
they
their
got
name's
bought.
gonna be what?
I think it, United Bank of Missouri or something like that.
Yeah, UNB Bank.
Yeah,
So are all these different people the same people that they were before?
yeah,
We're just redoing them under a different name?
right.
We're not changing roles or?
No.
No, everyone is
No effect
still-
on the financial either.
Yeah, all, like our bond attorney is the same, but like the people that are actually working at Bankers Trust now will all be the same, so our
And I assume
brokers.
your bond attorney is who sent the stuff to you today?
Yes, yep, yeah, they actually sent it to all of the cities that
Right.
are
So
part
your
of this
bond
Bankers
attorney's
Trust.
already reviewed this and said, yeah, you gotta do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Roll call. Oh, Jeff,
No, sorry. Sorry.
I'm already moving the motion to adjourn.
Engel. Aye. Buns.
Aye.
Reister.
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Sibel.
5-0.
Before we adjourn, can I say one comment about this whole thing? In the packet this month, we did have an operating report from both the street park department as well as the water sewer and wastewater department.
Yep.
And thank you to them for doing that. Just a quick little synopsis about what they've had going on so that we can all kind of see, not necessarily micromanage, but just see what all of our departments are doing. So I really appreciate that in the
Good.
council packet this
That's
month.
them. And that's clear out in pages 154 and 155. So if you look at those and there's other things you have curiosity about, would like to have considered to add in those monthlies, just let me or Chrissy or others know and they'll pop them in there. Informational items, a dozen of them in there. Reminder items, regularly scheduled meetings held at council chambers except electric board and library board. Public Works Committee meeting, May 13th, 7 a.m.
Today the 13th?
Yeah,
It's
May
15th,
15th.
sorry.
May 15th,
15th.
good catch. Mayor's Task Force meeting, May 21st, 2019 at 5 p.m. And you got some stuff for it, Kate?
I'm sorry, what?
You got some stuff for the meeting on
Yes.
Mayor's Task Force? Okay. Public Safety Committee meeting, May 23rd, 4 p.m. Personnel Admin Finance Committee meeting, May 28th, 4:45 p.m. Next council meetings, Tuesday, May 28th at 6 p.m. Monday, June 10th at 6 p.m.
Move to adjourn.
Or second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You're out of here. Yeah.
Bye, Matt.
Thank you all.
That was a good one.
So Sam, you taking out papers?
Who's that?
You taking out